You are now listening to two dudes in their 30s with Adam and Greg. They're gonna talk about stuff, and you're gonna listen. Okay, got it. Good. Let's start the show.
Where are you guys?
We are in Shelton, Washington,
Which is
tiny little town, like near Tacoma, kind of. About an hour west of Seattle.
So is that where you're headed?
Yeah, we're gonna be staying up in Seattle tonight.
So what's it, like a little after 5 there on a Friday? So you're going to be hitting some traffic or what?
Yeah, hopefully it won't be too bad. We're gonna be on this side of Seattle. We're gonna be staying, so at least we don't have to drive through it.
I don't know what this side means, but
Yeah. So I found this awesome news article that I wanted to share with you and our listeners. I don't know if you're up for
dude, I'm getting crotch cam right now. This is pretty great.
What?
I'm getting crotch cam.
Is that better?
The view from the crotch.
Oh man, I'm trying to hold my wife's phone and my phone. Doing this thing on the road is difficult.
Okay. You're not driving,
All right. No, I'm not driving.
That'd be a feat.
Just using my knees. All right, when I get the giggles, man, it's bad. So I just gotta get into this.
All right, so we're gonna do a new segment here. We don't know how often if we'll ever do this again, but we're gonna read a news story that Adam found, and then we're gonna react.
All right, here we go. So Colin Dwyer wrote this from the NPR.
From
really
the NPR.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
Yep. So yeah, it's titled "The Poop Train's Reign of Terror in Small Town Alabama Has Ended." Says it's not often a town of roughly 1,000 makes national news, but then it's not often a town faces a plight so ripe for media attention as Parrish, Alabama. For upwards of 2 months, a train brimming with sewage sludge has been squatting uninvited near fields used for youth baseball, simmering in the sun, making its noisome presence known ever in the darkness of night. In a word, Mayor Heather Hall told the Associated Press earlier this week, "It smells like death." But it appears the tiny town may finally be waking from its long nightmare. "I have wonderful news," Hall announced Wednesday on Facebook. In what might say, oh my God, I'm killing it. In what one might describe as a remarkable understatement, she explained that the containers of excrement aboard that train have been transported to and emptied at their intended destination. Oh my God. This is just insane. Can you imagine?
So I'm not following. So a couple of train cabins full of shit have been sitting in a town, just that's it?
For 2 months.
Why?
Just squatting there. They say that it's a common occurrence that when larger cities like have an abundance and overflow of sewage and they can't treat it all, they transport it across state lines. And it just so happened that it got like stuck in this little tiny town on the rails for 2 months outside of their youth baseball like fields. I thought our baseball fields, Boston Spa's baseball fields, were horrible. Can you imagine?
It was near train tracks though.
Yeah. All right. So I remember some kid hitting it over the train tracks, like at one of our baseball games.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what to say about this besides it's disgusting.
Yeah.
And I didn't know that. I don't know. I guess I never really thought about what happened to sewage. I just kind of assumed that it went into the pipes and out somewhere. I never really assumed or thought that it was transported in some kind of a vessel. I don't know what I thought happened to it, but
yeah, you don't think about this kind of thing. It's not an everyday occurrence. You have 2 months of feces sitting around your house, you know?
Yeah, that's not good. Although I do remember well, I guess it was like a treatment plant. There was like soccer fields in a town near us, and it used to reek all the time there. But I think it was like right next to a treatment plant. But they had like the nicest fields. So the thought was that they like used whatever they got from there and like fertilized the fields with it. I can't believe that that'd be true, but that's what everybody used to say.
That's funny. Oh man.
All right, moving on.
Yeah. Any
So
news report on your end this week or what?
not really, actually. It's been a kind of a typical suburban dad work week. It's just been busy, just busy work, nothing out of the ordinary. Lucas has to have tubes put in his ears next Friday, so we're a little bummed out about that. But
Man,
um,
didn't you and your sister have to have that when you were kids too?
I had it, and then Ashley, not my sister, my wife, had them too.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
yeah, I mean, I guess there's mixed thoughts on whether or not you actually need to have it, but he's had an ear infection for like 2 months and he can't clear it, so we're
Yeah.
a little nervous about having him put under, but I think it'll ultimately be for the best. So that's that's kind of the drama in our life. Nothing else really going on. We got the baptism this Sunday, so for the baby, so we'll do that, and
Very cool.
that's it. Kind of a normal weekend. So you guys are in Washington. You were in Oregon. What did you think of, or yeah? So what did you think about Portland?
Mixed. I had like mixed reviews.
It's
My,
tough.
my,
You guys are flying through in like a day, right? So you're kind of seeing what you're seeing,
yeah,
and that's it. But
yeah. So it was an interesting, eclectic city. There was a lot of homeless in like the downtown area, and kind of probably a lot of like mental illness, goes along with that.
yeah,
Um, so there's like people screaming, and I don't know if it was like there's like multiple people just screaming at the top of their lungs from like one city block to another city block. And I told my wife it's probably like their echolocation. They kind of know where the other person is that way.
their
They don't
echolocation.
they don't have cell phones. I'm sure they don't. So
I never thought
I
about
don't
it
know.
that way.
Yeah, so it was interesting. I was like, let's get out of here. I don't feel comfortable.
Where was the house that you stayed in?
I was right outside of Portland.
Pretty
This
cool
little
looking
tiny.
place.
Yeah, it was awesome. We've wanted to try to check out a tiny house for some time now, and I came across it on Airbnb last minute, booked it, and we loved it. It was a really great stay.
It's pretty sweet.
So yeah, I was gonna say, do you want to lead us into our guest for this week?
Yeah, real quick though, before we do that, I wanted to say just a continued thank you for those that are downloading and checking us out and listening. We had somebody reach out to us on Instagram this week and just kind of shoot us a quick note. So for somebody to not only take the time to listen to us in their ears for almost an hour every week, which is kind of insane as it is, um, and then to take the time to shoot us a quick note and kind of give us some encouragement and say that they were enjoying what we were doing so far, and to kind of keep it up was pretty cool. So again, we don't take that lightly or for granted at all. That there's only so many hours in a day, there's only so many minutes, so many seconds in a day for anybody, let alone numerous people, and sort of a little bit of a growing audience week to week to be kind of listening to what we're talking about or the people that we're talking with, I think is a pretty cool, interesting, unique thing. And so I just wanted to continue to sort of say thanks for everybody checking us out, and whatever, just kind of being a part of the crew now, the two dudes in their 30s crew, and listening. So we really appreciate that. So this week we're talking to Austin Awake. This is my buddy Jared's brother, actually. He's from Boston Spa, so our hometown, and he's starting to make it pretty big as like a hip hop rapper, R&B artist. I just kind of came across him just from knowing Jared, and whatever, being friends with him on Facebook, seeing different stuff that he shared, or just knowing him. I've never met. I don't think I've ever met Austin in person before. But like I said, when we talked to him, I had a lot of long nights with Jared, and so I just was like, yeah, let's see if we can get your brother on and talk to him. But he's got like 200,000 subscribers on YouTube. He sort of started out doing like a lot of covers, and that's, I think, sort of how he started to get known a little bit. But he's also got his own original stuff. He's big on Instagram, and I was like, yeah, let's just talk about that. It's kind of it's like our first musician, right, that we've talked to.
That's really making it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really going to be making it. We feel like, yeah.
And so we want to kind of do that too. Like we would like to talk to like people that are out there going at it, like for creative avenues. And we talked to obviously Kyle, who's doing the, photography and the YouTube videos as well. And so now we're talking to to somebody that's specific to music, which is just cool and interesting. He was in the car the whole time, driving around, so you hear a little bit of that. But yeah, it was cool just to get to talk to him. And yeah, I mean, I think we had a pretty good little chat about sort of what he's doing now, kind of where he's come from, and hopefully where he's going. So, what'd you think?
Yeah, I thought it was a lot of really interesting information for somebody that might want to pursue music as a career, or more than a passion, and try to make money with it. It was a lot of really cool stories, really really cool insight to somebody that is stepping out and doing that. So
yeah, I mean, he really got it rolling on social media, like just getting a following, and having some videos go viral, attracting people to his covers, and then sort of building it out from there. But he took it as a business too. Like, he didn't want to just play with it. Like, he enjoyed it, and he decided that this is really what he wants to do for his living, and so he's kind of grinded at that to get it done. So we really appreciated his time. So let's flip it over to our recent conversation with Austin Awake, and we will see you at the end. Austin.
Hey, what's up, man? How's it going?
How are you?
yeah, what's up, man?
All right, cool. What's up, man? How's it going?
Doing good. How are you, man?
I'm good. I gotta switch this profile photo. I don't know what that's all about.
Yeah, I know. What year was that from? Like 10 years ago, something like that?
I don't even know. I was literally trying to switch it as you guys were calling me.
Don't worry about it.
What is that like? Is that like the Wu-Tang? What is that?
Yeah,
sign?
I'm not sure what I'm doing, but I'm literally changing it as we speak.
I thought it was like
I'm
Shocker
definitely
or
not
something.
keeping that one.
Yeah.
That's what it looks like. Yeah, I'm not even sure what to switch it to. I'm not a big Skype guy, but I mean, I might start using it.
Yeah,
I don't think anybody uses
No.
Skype anymore. Honestly,
No.
It was like high school days for a way of like, I don't even know what, I guess conference calls and things like that. But then like we used it to, I don't know, talk back and forth. I don't think anyone does. Anyway.
I'm pretty sure a lot of like podcasts and stuff use it though. I know like the Barstool guys use it sometimes.
Yeah.
You know?
When
All right, switched it. Sweet.
you got it changed up?
Yeah, I think so.
Well, dude, thanks for coming on with us for a little while. We appreciate it.
Yeah, for sure.
So now
for sure.
you're home now? Where are you?
Yeah, I'm in upstate New York right now, so enjoying this. I came from the beautiful weather into the crappy weather, so that kind of sucked.
Yeah, so I'm up here in Albany myself, and then Adam in the flannel. He's in like Oregon right now, right?
Yep.
Okay. Oh, you're in Oregon.
Yeah, just rolled
that's
in.
like the most beautiful place on earth.
It's gorgeous so far. We've only
Yeah.
seen a few hours of it, but
Okay.
it's been fantastic. I'm on the road right now, so
Okay. Yep.
yeah.
So Adam and his wife are living out in San Diego. They're from here though, too, and they're coming back to this area, but they're taking like a 3-week trip. So we're trying to get these podcasts recorded like while he's en route as well. So it's a little bit of a challenge, but we're making it happen. So.
Oh yeah, making it happen. I lived out in San Diego for like a year.
Oh really? Where were you?
Like the Fashion Valley Mall.
Yep.
The apartments right across the street, the Avalon.
Yeah, dude. I was right next door to those. It was like Center
Yeah,
Point.
that's literally where I lived for like a year. They were super nice, but I wasn't the biggest fan of San Diego. I liked LA a little more, but San Diego's beautiful, but I feel like that's where you go like when you're like retired. Like that's how
Yeah.
I felt out there. That's how I felt.
Yeah, I liked it a lot. My wife and I were out there for like a year, almost, maybe 10 months. We loved it. It was beautiful.
There's not a better place on earth for the weather.
Yeah, tell me about it.
Mm-hmm.
So now you're not living up here now anymore, though. Whereabouts are you?
Down in Atlanta.
Okay.
Yep. Right down in Atlanta. Yep.
So obviously, I know J-Rod. So does Adam. So
Yeah.
when I
Yeah,
go ahead, Adam.
I have a question first off. Who's a better dancer out of you or Jared?
Oh, well, he'll say him, but I mean, well, he did teach me. He used to have me in the basement. When I was younger, my brother used to literally put me in the basement, and he used to put, like, NSYNC on, and he used to, like, make me do dance routines.
Sounds like him.
Yeah, so So I gotta give it to him. He's like the master, you know. But I think I got him now. He's old and washed up.
Well, we're older than he is, but me and your brother had some long nights in the past.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I actually
Did you?
go ahead.
When you guys lived with him, right?
I didn't live with him, but I'm Eric LaChance is one of my best friends.
Oh, okay.
So I know Jared through like Chad, and then Jared and a couple of his buddies lived above Eric and my brother-in-law Pat and Troy for a while. I don't know if you ever went to that place in Lansingburg. You ever go to that spot?
I was a little too young when he was living there to go to that place.
Yeah, you're probably too young right now.
Yeah. I heard it was pretty wild.
It was. So we had some long nights up in that place, but he's a good guy. Actually, you got to be honest with me. Is he annoyed that I reached out to him to talk to you?
No, not at all. He was like really pushing me to do it.
My one buddy was like, "Yeah, I was talking to Jared the other day, and he's like, yeah, Greg reached out to me, and he's like, he just wanted to talk to my brother." So.
No, I mean, he's definitely really pushing it. You know, I mean, I would have done it, you know, no matter what. But he was definitely pushing it. He said, you know, spoke very highly of you guys. So
yeah,
I was with
he's
it.
a good dude. I don't actually see him that much anymore, but he literally sees my dad, I think, every day at the gym in Malta. So.
Yeah, I literally was at the gym today, you know, getting a nice little pump. Still off the pre-workout, so probably going to talk up a storm.
That's all right. Sounds good. So, what are you doing back up here right now, anyways?
So the other night, I was actually in Miami, and then I was just chilling, and I was on the beach having a few drinks, you know, and I saw that. Well, I kind of knew, like, you know, DJ iRock.
So I was actually going to ask you kind of what that connection was too, but yeah, I mean, I don't know him, but I know who he is from jams or whatever.
Yeah, so he was having like his 10-year anniversary party. He's like my mentor, so I was sitting there and I really wanted to make it up here for that. So I just bought a ticket. I found like a somewhat cheap ticket and just flew up here. I only was supposed to be here for that night, but I stayed a few days just to see my friends and everybody like that. And I'm missing the perfect weather down there, and then when I get back on Friday, it's about to start raining. So,
I mean, I think
sucks.
it's literally going to snow tomorrow here, maybe. So you get to see that one more time, which is just crazy.
Yeah, that's super nice. Just what I wanted to see.
Exactly. But I mean, you know all about this. So hey, let's go back to like Ballston Spa. So I mean, we're gonna do an intro here on you, so people know who you are. But I'm interested in like how a guy from the town that we grew up in, like with very little diversity, kind of got into the music you're into, got into music in general, being from a place that doesn't seem like it sprouts a lot of that. I mean, I don't know, Adam, if you agree, but.
We want to know how you came from dancing to NSYNC in your basement to trying to really make it in the hip hop scene.
Yeah. Well, I like this podcast already because, a lot of people when they interview me, when I do radio interviews, I tell them I'm from, upstate New York, but I don't think they really get the like gist of how weird it is to come out of there and like, do something in the hip hop scene or whatever scene that I'm in, the music scene. But really, I don't know. I've always just been like super, super fascinated with music. And, I was homeschooled, believe it or not. I don't know if you know, J-Rod was homeschooled as well.
For how long?
For like, I think J-Rod was homeschooled all the way till high school.
No way.
Yeah, he was homeschooled.
Oh, I didn't know that at all.
Yeah, we were all homeschooled. My mom homeschooled like me, my sister, and my brother. I went to school in middle school though, but I think J-Rod waited all the way till high school.
I didn't.
He just wasn't ready.
I was just like, when I first got to school, I just didn't like, didn't know a ton of people and stuff like that. So I had like the desire to like be cool, you know what I'm saying, and be like liked. And I figured I was just like trying to figure out ways to do that back in the day. But I thought, maybe if I try this music thing out or basketball or something like that, I could make some friends. I ended up making like, a ton of friends just from sports and stuff. But so I kind of got into the music by just wanting to be like known, and then it just kind of like, it was a long time, but it kind of was just a grind, and just exponentially, like every year something big happened. Like every single year, starting like my senior year, I won this like competition. It was like the best quote unquote artist in the 518. That's where I met DJ iRock because he hosted it, and it was like winner gets $1,000 or something like that. So I literally Man, I'm gonna be getting a car right now. Hold on.
Don't worry about
So,
it.
can you guys still hear me?
Yeah, yeah.
All right, cool. I'm just gonna ignore this, but so he hosted it, and I won. I won like $1,000. There's like some record labels there and stuff like that. So that's when I was like, I kind of want to take this thing seriously. And every year after that, just something happened that was like exponentially better, and that kind of like led to where I'm at right now.
So I know you've done some covers and stuff. We can talk about that, but coming up, like, who are some of the people that you listen to that kind of really, I don't know, that you gravitated to, that it kind of inspired you, or you think you kind of molded some of your style after?
So, kind of funny, but I think my first CD was like Lil Bow Wow. I mean, I was like 9. I was like 8 or 9. You know what I'm saying? But to be honest, like when I was really like growing up, didn't listen to like too much rap. It was a lot of like just different stuff. My mom was always playing like James Taylor, Shania Twain, like just a different type of music. And I think that's what like cultivated my sound, because I really don't think it's one lane. I could do like a country song, or I could do like a rap song. So kind of growing up, I listened to everything. I literally like listened to everything. There wasn't anybody until like, when like Drake, Wiz Khalifa, Mac Miller, all them were coming out at once. That's when I really was like, tried to imitate like Drake, or really try to like mold a sound when they were all coming out. Lil Wayne, like mixtape days, that type of stuff.
And what about just writing in general? So, I mean, obviously, it takes a long time to, I think, I would imagine it takes a lot of time to kind of mold being able to just rhyme in general. So how did you develop that? I mean, I don't remember like a big freestyle scene in Ballston Spa. I could be wrong.
But, you don't remember the rap battles every single morning, bro?
I don't remember those. Maybe I was in a different world. I don't know.
The writing was definitely just a gift from God. I was just naturally knew how to rhyme. Like I found a video yesterday on YouTube. Maybe I'll send it to you guys. Don't know if I want this leaked. But I was like probably 8 years old, and I was rapping, and it was like pretty good. And I think that, and I don't remember before that having any like experience. I think it just came kind of very, very, very natural to me. Thank you. It came like very, very natural to me. But I don't think it was anything that I like practice on, or, no rap battles, nothing like that. It was just, it came natural. Like I like poetry and stuff like that. It was just very natural to me.
When you got out of high school, like, what was the plan? So, I mean, you went to somewhere? I feel like I remember seeing an article in some paper or somewhere about you were in St. Rose maybe for a little while.
Yeah, went to St. Rose for about 2 weeks. So, that lasted a while. So that's when I was there, like, I was thinking about playing basketball because, like, I wasn't amazing, but I did really well in AAU. And I had some, like, Division II coaches, like, calling some school in Long Island. And then the St. Rose coach did call. So I was thinking about playing basketball there, but, when I showed up there and was kind of seeing, like, who actually played on the team, I was like, I think I'm just going to stick to music. Probably got a better chance than that. So I kind of was just like, I'm just going to follow this music thing, because at the time I thought it was huge, and I was like, oh, I made it. I'm out, So I just was like in class one day, left, and that kind of forced me to like really do this, It was kind of like a weird step, leaving college and not having like a plan, but I knew that this music thing one day would work out, and it's still working out,
So you've been making your money off of music, or you've been doing other things to just try to keep it going until you were able to kind of get the momentum going with getting shows and doing other things?
So I was like, at the beginning, I was not making any money at all. I was working jobs, I worked a million jobs, but the last 2 years, I would say, I would say the last 2 years after everything went extremely viral, like the remixes, I figured out just how to make a lot of money off streams, YouTube advertisements. I figured out how to monetize the fan base that I built. So I was fortunate enough to not have to work a job and make like a very good amount of money. So.
And I was gonna actually ask you, because some of the people we've been talking to so far have just been people that we found on social media, and we've been talking about just kind of people building an audience or building a brand. So, how do you think? I mean, from your experience, how did that start with you? How did that all kind of snowball into what it's become today, with 200,000 plus followers on YouTube and Instagram and whatever?
Yeah. So I was like, for a while, I was putting out remixes like every week for about a year or a year and a half before any got views. Like I was getting like 100 views on them, like 300 views. But I knew, like, in my head, I was like, these are pretty good. I was like, one day if I just get a lot of people to see them, I'm like, I know that people are going to like him. You know, it's like, I'm not like super cocky like that, but it was the one thing I was very confident with. So I just was like, I know if a lot of people see this. And then I was thinking, how can I get a lot of people to see him? So I hit up this dude on Facebook who would like share viral stuff. And I like sent him, I forgot what one it was. I didn't have any money at the time. So my buddy Adam gave me money to pay him to put it out on his page. And I ended up getting like 1 million views overnight on like this cheerleader one. And then I was like, okay. And I just hit him with like 3 more and ended up getting like 40 million views. So it was nuts.
What kind of doors has that opened up for you with your music career, with touring and concerts and whatnot?
I mean, it opened up all the doors. Like I definitely would not be able to do anything that I'm doing right now. You know, I moved out to California. That was all paid for off the music. I dropped the album and went top 50 on iTunes. I, did a headline to tour off that, and it's all literally from the remixes, you know, but it was cool to see people buy my, when you do remixes, you're like, okay, the people like the remixes, but could I like sell my own original stuff? And that's one thing like labels and stuff wanted to see. So I dropped the album of all original work. It went top 50 on iTunes. I headlined a tour off of it. People came out, sold out merch. Just a ton of like super dope stuff, but it was all doors open from the remixes and from going viral online.
So getting back to like some of the eclectic like music you came up with, it seems like that did translate over into some of the stuff you decided to remix. I mean, you got country stuff on here, Florida Georgia Line. Like,
yeah.
How do you even decide to kind of do something? You just picking popular songs and trying to kind of play off those, or how'd you kind of come up with some of these?
At the beginning, I didn't really have a formula. So I was just doing I was going through like a ton of stuff, just like emotional stuff. I was emotional, I don't even know. But so I was just listening to songs and whatever like evoked some emotion in me, you know, it didn't have to be, I don't care if it was a Screamo song. Okay, well, maybe not Screamo, but I don't care. Like if it was just like a song that I really, really liked, then yeah, I just remixed it. But now I'm not really doing the remixes anymore. Focus on original work and stuff like that. But I forgot what I was saying. What was I talking about? Sorry, I was talking about ADD.
No, you're fine. We were just talking about kind of where you came up with some of these different types of remixes, like with the different genres and stuff that you hit. Because I remember one of the big ones was like a country one, wasn't it? Was it like Sam something? I don't remember which one it was. But...
Yeah, it was Sam Hunt. Break Up in a Small Town.
Right.
So that one was literally, I think the song was like a year old. So that one was literally one I just decided to do, and it was one that I kind of clicked with. And Sam Hunt is not total country, you know?
Yeah.
So I just did it, and that one ended up going crazy.
Have you
on Facebook and YouTube just went crazy?
So if any of these people reached out that you've done these for, like any of these artists you heard from?
Yeah, well, I did like a Dierks Bentley remix. And he posted it on his Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And so he was like, he's like, I like the way you flip this. Or he posted it and he was like, I love the way Austin Awake flipped this. And that boosted my following like crazy. So yeah, but he was probably like the main one that reached out. I know some other artists have, and like some have posted it on their social media, but I just remember him posting it having like the biggest impact.
That's awesome, man. So,
yeah, pretty nuts.
Another thing that I kind of been talking to people about when it comes to social media is some of the bad stuff that goes with it, and sort of dealing with like the comments or just the people that reach out that are just like saying crazy stuff. So, like, what's been your experience with like that, and how do you kind of handle it?
Well, I invite it. because more comments means that I pop up more on the search engines. You know, comments are very important. So I literally just invite all the hate I can get because that's more comments for me. That's more money for me. That's more views. That's me popping up on the search engines more. You know what I'm saying? So anybody that's sitting behind their computer, just, you know, with those Twitter fingers, as Drake would say, I invite it because that's more money in my pocket. So I'm not, you know what I'm saying? Like, I really do not care much.
Do you respond to any of that kind of stuff or get involved or not really?
There's like, no, I don't think I respond, but I definitely see some of them, and I would be lying saying none of them have ever gotten to me, because sometimes if it's stuff like I'm maybe like a little insecure about, or stuff like I notice myself and then someone says it, that's the only time I'm like okay, but like 99% of the time I really don't care.
They're like, yeah, you say like
And
too
I
much,
don't respond.
because we say like too much.
Oh yeah, 1,000%. I remember I did a comment video. Like, I responded to comments, and I had I only responded to like hate comments, and it was hilarious. They were saying like I forgot Adam Sandler if he was 20 pounds heavier and used auto-tune, like stuff like that. And when I was reading it, I was getting a little mad, but then I was like just laughing. So.
Yeah, I mean, what can you do with that? You just gotta laugh about that. I mean, whatever.
Yeah, it was funny. Like, if I saw it on somebody else's videos, I would 1,000% laugh.
It's like,
so I was.
It's like mean tweets or something. Doesn't Kimmel do that? Something.
That's
like
1,000% what it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, I totally copied him off that. 1,000%.
How about like your first tour, right? When you had like stepped out on the stage and it was your time to shine. How'd you feel? Did you feel confident? Were you nervous? Like, what was going through your mind?
So my first show, not my first show, but my first show on tour, I was super nervous that nobody was going to show up. I kept like having people go down there and check for me. Is anybody there? Is anybody there? And then it was Boston. So I wanted people to show up, and I didn't think anybody was gonna, because I didn't know. It's one thing to have an online following, but it's another for it to translate into real shows. So a lot of people came out, and it was maybe my favorite show on tour as the first one. So it was a great start. It was one of the best feelings ever, you know.
Were you doing that stuff like by yourself? Like, were you reaching out to places to set up dates, or how did that work? And then, I mean, obviously you're the draw, so I think I get the nerves because you're trying to pull people in. But how does that all work, setting that all up?
So this guy Tyler from California, he works for a company. He hit me up and he was like, "Do you want to do a tour?" I was like, "Yeah, of course." So he hit up promoters that he had connections with, and then my buddy Dakota, an artist, Arizona, my buddy Jo, my buddy Brian, and I know I'm forgetting somebody. It's gonna be so bad because there's only like 4 of us on tour, so I know I'm forgetting somebody right now. We just went, and it was part of my language. You can believe this out. It was a shit show, but it was the most fun time. Like, there's so many stories I have, like, just from being on tour, because we didn't know what we were doing. My buddy Dakota drove the bus, was my tour DJ, and did merch. And we thugged it out so bad. It was so bootleg, but it all worked out. We all got it done. But it was just literally just show up to a city, like 2 hours before the show, indulge in some alcohol, perform, get like 30 people, go back to one hotel room, maybe get a couple hotel rooms if there was too many people. And it was a party for like 2 weeks straight. It was something I don't know if I'll ever experience that again. It was wild.
You got other dates coming up, or what's the plan? What's the plan moving forward?
So I have an album dropping May 4th. And then after that, there's some things happening. And yeah, I'll be hopefully headlining another tour or hopping on somebody else's tour that's like big. But yeah, so what I was saying is, like, my next tour will not be as random and just like a big party. It's definitely going to be a lot more professional. But it was, that's why I said I'll never experience anything like that again.
Like, how do you make that transition, though, from this being like fun to now it's how you make money online, but now it's how you're going to be making money maybe at a bigger level. So how do you sort of make that growth and have that sort of, I guess, entrepreneurial maturity, if you will?
Well, it's different. It's like it's very different when you're just doing something for fun and then it's a business. Sometimes that hurts the creative process. You know, I was literally just putting stuff out and not thinking twice about it, not thinking twice about what I wrote, didn't even know if people were listening. And then all of a sudden, it's like I put it out to a combined, million people. I think about, sometimes I overthink things or think what I say, and I'm like, oh, is this the right song? Am I going to make money off of this? But that's something I'm trying to move away from again and just do it for the love of creating. But it's definitely a lot different, money-wise. And I'm sure, when this podcast blow up and you guys get money for ads and all that stuff, I'm sure it'll be a lot different than how you guys are doing it now,
We can look back and say, yeah, man, we had Austin Awake on the podcast, episode 11 or whatever it was, and look at him now.
Yep, that's what I'm saying.
What's next for you? Talk about that new single that's out right now.
So what's next for me now? The About You song dropped a couple months ago, but the video just dropped. Now the album, A Long Way From Home, is coming out May 4th, and that's pretty much an extension of my last album, Small Town Boy. I'm trying to do like what Kanye West did with College Dropout, Late Registration, Graduation. I'm trying to do like a 3-part little, I don't even know what that's called, but I'm trying to do a little 3-part thing like that. So it's going to be Small Town Boy, and then A Long Way From Home, because I'm down in Atlanta and all that right now. Yep. And then the next one, I'm not sure what it's going to be. We'll get that when we get there. But, yeah, so the second part of the installment is dropping. Billboard just posted the About You single, which was insane.
Yeah, I saw that. It's awesome.
It's doing really well. Yeah, that's just something huge to have on the resume. But the plans for the next one is only going to get exponentially bigger from here. So it's going to be a journey. It's going to be a wild ride.
Cool, man. So before we get offline here with you real quick, where can people find you? And give us the info on when the album drops again, where people can find that at.
Yeah, so the album, A Long Way From Home, drops May 4th. That'll be on all the streaming platforms, Spotify, Apple Music, iTunes, Tidal, MySpace. No, I'm joking. Definitely MySpace. But yeah, so to be on all that. And then you can find me at Austin Awake on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. What am I missing? YouTube. Yeah, so, pretty simple.
Thanks a lot, man.
Yeah,
dude, thank you.
For sure. Yeah, good work. Definitely a good podcast. Done a lot of interviews. It's definitely a good one. I like it a lot. You guys got a good thing going, so keep it.
Thanks, man. We'll talk to you later.
All right.
Thanks, man.
So that was Austin Awake, everybody, on the podcast this week. We appreciated his time, even though he was on the road and trying to figure out where he was going, driving around. We had a really good talk with him. Again, he kind of hit you up with his social media, but he's at Austin Awake on everything. Huge YouTube page, Instagram, Facebook, not MySpace. But yeah, we really appreciated a couple minutes of his time.
Yeah, so thank you again for listening to this week. And you can hit us up on all of our social medias. It's 2dudes30, basically at everything, but Instagram's most of them we try to plug the most. So yeah, check out our socials and send us an email or something like that if you want to reach out. It's 2dudes30@gmail.com.
All right, so doing something a little different this week. Episode 11. We usually end the show with Enigmatic Heart, but we're going to let Austin actually flip it over to one of his songs as we wrap things up this week. So, again, thanks everybody for listening. We'll catch you again next week, every Monday as always. And here's Austin Awake.
This is Austin Awake on Two Dudes in Their 30s podcast. And this is my single, About You. Video out now. Go get it.
wish you could feel all the things that I've been feeling, all the ways that I've been feeling about you. Girl, I wish you could feel all the things that I've been feeling, all the ways that I've been feeling about you. Don't know what's going on, but lately all this fighting, baby, that's just really killing my mood. I spend my days alone, I don't know what I'm searching for, but I find it, I don't have a clue. I'm feeling high, I'm feeling low, I know it's sunny out, but some reason I still have the blues. I really came up from the bottom, felt the pain, what I'm saying, I got nothing to lose. Mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the loneliest of them all? Will you be there for me if I fall? I had a lover, but she never calls. Had a dream, we had a family. Had a dream, we had a baby. Girl, I know you can't stand me. Girl, I know I sound crazy. And you got numbers in your phone, I got numbers in my phone too. Baby, I could be a Superman, show me to the phone booth. Girl, I wish you could feel all the things that I've been feeling, all the ways that I've been feeling about you. Girl, I wish you could feel all the things that I've been feeling, all the ways that I've been feeling about you. I'm in the city, maybe you could come out with me if you've been looking for something to do. And you don't know what I've been doing for the opportunity that I might run into you. I find it crazy how you used to be my baby and we would stick to each other like glue. Me and my team, we really came up from the bottom, baby. You could look at me for the proof. Nowadays, I don't even talk. Nowadays, I don't even trust. Last year, I was on the bus. Now the club getting fucked up. Now the check's not bouncing. Shout out to my accountant. I've been really living by the 3 words that faith moves mountains. I did all of this from the crib when I didn't want to live. And I don't really mean to brag, but I might pull up with your bitch. Girl, my life got hectic. You were my biggest skeptic. I wish you could've saw the plan that I had for us until you wrecked it. Yeah. And you got numbers in your phone, I got numbers in my phone too. Baby, I could be a Superman, show me to the phone booth. Girl, I wish you could feel all the things that I've been feeling, all the ways that I've been feeling about you. Girl, I wish you could feel all the things that I've been feeling, all the ways that I've been feeling about you.
Oh, what's this?
That's a microphone. Want to sing a song?
Uh-huh.
Hurry up, go ahead.
I will nobody go round and down. People want to go up and down, over the town.
You say goodbye.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.